high school, they were in labs already. Like, they already knew to, like, do research with these people. These kids were already published by the time they left high school. Like, that's what our children are up against. And, I mean, our family, we don't even know about this stuff. We don't know about the programs. And their parents are over the programs. And that, I just feel like that's just, I don't know, the deep disparity, I guess.
And so basically that, like I was saying, that leads us into our perfect segue of how do we feel about the media's perception of us? Because after seeing that video, like I keep reiterating, that is not me, that does not represent me. And I had a conversation, when I was starting my business, I had a conversation with some adults, and they kept telling me, you know, who's going to be the next leaders of your generation? You know, I'm afraid to get old because, you know, right, I got to leave the country into your hands? Oh, no way. And I'm like, there are people doing phenomenal things. Look at this panel. Look at you all. You all are doing amazing things. I mean, so how do you all feel about that perception, the media's perception of us? And also the impact and the influence of music on our youth in America. Yes.
It's sickening. It really is. I come from a home where my great grandmother taught us, my mom taught me, don't be me, be better than me. Don't settle for my education. Go further. When I went to the University of Memphis, I was studying pre-med biology. All because of what I heard. Oh, it's gonna make you money. It's gonna get you up there to where you need to be with your white folks, with your white friends. My junior year, they just so happened to have me on the wrong path. I was in chemistry, wasn't biology, couldn't graduate, had to wait another maybe 2 or 3 years. That's when I came back. Now my mom, she is the chair of the school board here. She saw that. She didn't understand why, A, I wasn't happy trying to pursue my dream. B, why the system was set up to where it's okay if my path wasn't set, but my classmate, oh, she can graduate, it's okay. So once I came home, we had the discussion. It's really like, I'm trying not to get too emotional. It's really sickening though. It's media had a big influence on a lot of the decisions that I made. Once I came back, my mom didn't. She couldn't stand it. So, like you said, the exposure. She went into the schools and she said, okay, do you want to be an electrician? Do you want to be a neurologist? Do you want to do this? We're going to make a plan to where you can, your senior year, you can say, okay, I want to do this. You're going to be able to do this before you graduate. Don't listen to the media. Don't look at those videos. Don't say, okay, well, I have nothing else left for me, so I'm going to be a rapper. Well, I have nothing else left for me. I guess I just won't go to college. It's all about taking the remote out of their hand and putting opportunities in.
And Quentin, you had something to say?
Yeah, I was going to say what saddens me about the media is it proves and shows us every day how afraid they are for us to come together as one. Because once we're unity, it's hard to get us down. So they keep us divided. They keep us separated because divided we fall. And I have 5 nephews. They're my heart. And one of my nephews said, I want to be a CEO. And I said, you're going to be that. The only way you're going to get there, you got to learn. And you got to go around people who are doing what you want to do to learn to get there. I didn't have that growing up. And so the path that I chose was, I need an education. I need to get that. And I chose that the last minute in high school. And I chose that my junior year. My senior year, I graduated with a 3.8, and I came from a 2.2. And I was determined. And from there, I was told by my mom I wasn't going to be anything. And I believed it. Outside the home, I learned from people around me. You can be whatever you want to be. But the media, we can't get there without the media. The media is keeping us divided.
The media in all forms, whether it's radio, television, newspaper, watched or listened to or read daily. Like you said, you can't get that without the media, because it's good media out there. It's hard to find, or sometimes, especially the black people, it's boring to read or listen to if it's good news. That's why sites like Media Takeout, TMZ, Gossip, Paris Hilton, sometimes the negative parts on World Star Hip Hop. Not sure if you got, you got a good but a lot of times people go on there to see the fights. I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I'm not. But one of the biggest things that I also think of is, one of the sayings I like is, it's a time and a place for everything. It's a time to be educated, to be civil, to know how to at least act like you have some sense. And it's a time to have fun and party. That's what life is made of. It's about juggling, it's different things. But I feel like a lot of times our people don't necessarily know when it's time to do what. And when you put it into a different situation, that's when the media can attack. They get what they need. Oh, we saw so-and-so get into a fight at this club. Let's post a story because we know people are going to read that. You know, they maybe not pay attention to exactly, oh, what was she going to the club for, whether it was to promote something, maybe it was a social event. They're going to look at the negatives. And I'm not going to say we can never change it, but I don't see it changing soon. The change is first from within ourselves. And that's, I kind of ran out.
Yeah, Tiffany and Tiffany and then Lauren.
Okay. From the video that, I showed, it showed, where we came from and what we went through and where we're going. However, when it comes to the media and how they portray us today, as you can see with a lot of these reality shows like Basketball Wives and Real Housewives of Atlanta, they always want to show the negative parts, as everybody was saying, the fighting, the cursing, us calling each other bees and hoes and, oh, I'm a woman, but that's what they want. That is how they see us. It really is. Like, if me, Lauren, and what is your name? Vinay. If we went walking down the street, they probably would be like, oh, these black girls, I bet they're some bees and some hoes. Because that's how they see us all the time, just because of what they put out on television. However, I believe if it all goes back to the youth, if we start teaching our children where we come from, I believe, I hope, and I pray, if we do that, that can spark some type of change. But a lot of these kids don't know where we come from. They don't know we came from kings and queens. They don't know that we were royalty at one time. However, when we came over, when they brought us over here to from Africa to the U.S., they put us in slavery, and a lot of the things that we had to go through, and then the Willie Lynch saying the light skin versus dark skin, and then all of that kind of created something for where we are today. We still have that slave mentality, and a lot of that is still being portrayed on the media, through the media, whether it's radio or television, or things you see like on blog sites. They always want to show the negative part. However, the only way that I see it actually changing is if we stand together and support one another like we are doing tonight, which is great, by the way. I'm glad to see people out here supporting this, because this is something that needs to be done more often. And if we do more things like this and stand together and then take what we learned tonight and go out there and start using what we learned and teaching our children and the future children that we will have, we start teaching them about our history, what we've come from, what we went through. And look at how Martin Luther King and the people that were back then in the 60s, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, how well they stuck together to get us to where we are today. Imagine if we would have still kept that same mentality that they had back then till now, where we could possibly be. So we need to go back to having that same mentality that they had, of wanting to stick together, wanting to support our own black-owned businesses. If we could get back to that, maybe, just maybe, we could get all this crazy stuff off the media, because we're the ones that's watching it.
And that's very true.
The people drive the media.
And Lauren, what were you going to say?
Mine is like a different aspect, far as you can take